Hey, fourth graders, happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. I know I'm excited because we're doing pickup at our school for materials and everything like that. So I'm just like super excited because I know I'm going to see some of you guys in the next couple of days. So I'm like, yes. We've been reading Wonder, and we've been focusing on the character of Via. The point of view has changed throughout our story, and Via's kind of talking about her experiences that she's having in high school and how that kind of relates to what's going on with August. So yesterday we read about her coming home from school and kind of getting into like a sassy mode with her mom, and then going to sleep at night is kind of like where we left off. So, an apparition at the door. Once I got up in the middle of the night because I was thirsty, and I saw Mom standing outside Augie's room. Her hand was on the doorknob, her forehead leaning on the door, which was ajar. Ajar is another word for like slightly open, when it's like this much open, so it's just like slightly ajar. She wasn't going in his room or stepping out, just standing right outside the door, as if she was listening to the sound of his breathing as he slept. The hallway lights were out. The only thing illuminating her was the blue nightlight in August's bedroom. She looked ghost-like standing there, or maybe I should say angelic. I tried to walk back into my room without disturbing her, but she heard me and walked over to me. "Is Augie okay?" I asked. I knew that sometimes he would wake up choking on his own saliva if he accidentally turned over on his back. "Oh, he's fine," she said, wrapping her arms around me. She walked me back into my room, pulled the covers over me, and kissed me goodnight. She never explained what she was doing outside his door, and I never asked. I wonder how many nights she stood outside his door, and I wonder if she's ever stood outside my door like that. To me, that question, like, that specific memory that Via is sharing with us kind of shows that, like, I don't know if I would really call it, like, jealousy or animosity towards her brother, but it's definitely clear that Via knows, just from the last couple of chapters that we've read, that Via is very aware that almost like August takes some form of, like, priority over her, just because, not because I think they love her anymore, but just because I think that, I don't think that her parents love August more than Via. I don't think that's what this is, but I think that because August has so many like needs that they have to pay more attention to him, and in a way that's kind of like hurting Via, maybe like in her feelings, but we'll have to keep reading and see if that's true. This chapter is called Breakfast. "Can you pick me up from school today?" I said the next morning, smearing cream cheese on my bagel. Mom was making August's lunch, American cheese on whole wheat bread, soft enough for August to eat. While August sat eating oatmeal at the table, Dad was getting ready to go to work. Now that I was in high school, the new school routine was going to be that Dad and I would take the subway together in the morning, which meant his having to leave 15 minutes earlier than usual. Then I'd get off at my stop and he'd keep going, and Mom was going to pick me up after school in the car. "I was going to call Miranda's mother to see if she could drive you home again," Mom answered. "No, Mom," I said quickly. "You pick me up or I'll just take the subway." "You know I don't want you to take the subway by yourself yet," she answered. "Mom, I'm 15. Everybody my age takes the subway by themselves." "She can take the subway home," said Dad from the other room. Adjusting his tie as he stepped into the kitchen. "Why can't Miranda's mother just pick her up again?" Mom argued with him. "She's old enough to take the subway by herself," Dad insisted. Mom looked at both of us. "Is something going on?" She didn't address her question to either one of us in particular. You would know if you had come back to check on me," I said spitefully, "like you said you would." "Oh, God, Via," said Mom, remembering now how she had completely ditched me last night. She put down the knife she was using to cut Augie's grapes in half, still a choking hazard for him because of the size of his palate. I am so sorry. I fell asleep in Augie's room, and by the time I woke up, I know, I nodded indifferently. Mom came over, put her hands on my cheeks, and lifted my face to look at her. "I'm really, really sorry," she whispered. And I could tell she was. "It's okay," I said. "Via, Mom, it's fine." This time I meant it. She looked so genuinely sorry, I just wanted to let her off the hook. She kissed and hugged me, then returned to the grapes. "So, is something going on with Miranda?" she asked. She's acting like a complete jerk," I said. "Miranda's not a jerk," Augie quickly chimed in. "She can be," I yelled. "Believe me." "Okay, then, I'll pick you up, no problem," Mom said decisively, sweeping the half grapes into a snack bag with the side of her knife. That was the plan all along anyway. I'll pick Augie up from school in the car, and then we'll pick you up. We'll probably get there about 3:45. No, I said firmly before she'd even finished. Isabel, she can take the subway, said Dad impatiently. She's a big girl now. She's reading War and Peace, for crying out loud. What does War and Peace have anything to do with it? Answered Mom, clearly annoyed. It means you don't have to pick her up in the car like she's a little girl, he said sternly. Via, are you ready? Get your bag and let's go. I'm ready, I said, pulling out my backpack. Bye, Mom. Bye, Augie. I kissed them both quickly and headed toward the door. Do you even have a Metro card? Mom said after me. Of course she has a Metro card, answered Dad, fully exasperated. Yeesh, Mama, stop worrying so much. Bye, he said, kissing her on the cheek. Bye, big boy, he said to August, kissing him on the top of his head. I'm proud of you. Have a good day. Bye, Daddy, you too. Dad and I jogged down the stoop stairs and headed down the block. Call me after school before you get on the subway, Mom yelled at me from the window. I didn't even turn around, but waved my hand at her so she knew I'd heard her. Dad did turn around, walking backwards for a few steps. War and peace, Isabel, he called out, smiling as he pointed at me. War and peace. Kind of like that chapter. I think that's a very stereotypical, like, Dad being kind of like fun and Mom being kind of like the strict one. But I like it because it shows that she's older and more mature and can handle a little bit more. So that's really, really cool. I'm wondering, fourth graders, if there's been a time where we'll have 2 questions for you. And I'll post them both, and then you guys can decide which one you want to do. You can choose, based on the first chapter we read today, is there, a time where you felt like maybe another sibling of yours was more of a priority than you, and why? Or the second question would be, have you ever had like a big kid moment where Via gets to ride the subway all by herself? Like, have you ever had a moment where you're like, you know what, your parents are like, oh, you know what, I think you're old enough for this now. Sure, you can do that. Like, it's a big kid moment. It's a big deal. So I'm going to post both of those questions in the reply or in the comments, and you guys can just reply there, and I look forward to reading about them. Bye, fourth graders. See you tomorrow.